All right, WV football going deep, talking about the bowl game, questions for the bowl game. But getting first, I want to talk quickly, maybe, about Noel Devine's Twitter post complaining, and that's the politest way to put it, because West Virginia did not sign his son, Andre. Okay, according to the 24/7 board, and I'm not sure if this is VIP or not, they did offer him early on. He did not commit at the time. His junior year, he only played in 2 games. His senior year, he split time at running back, and he didn't do all that well. He is very small, smaller than Noel, and he is kind of fast, but not real fast. There's a reason why he doesn't have a lot of schools knocking at his door. If he wants to play college ball on a scholarship, he will probably have to go to probably not even a group of 5. He may have to drop down lower. Will he get better? Maybe. Would he have been a fit team-wise? Don't know. If Noel's going to behave this way, I have to wonder how Andre would behaves. So it's not, I mean, Noel Devine is evidently completely wrong. And he's going beyond what a father has justification for doing. He also, said he blamed it on the portal for WVU signing guys out of the portal instead of high school, but West Virginia did not sign any running backs out of the portal. They signed 2 high school running backs, both of whom have much better physical measurables and, oh man, many times the stats. So they pretty surely signed 2 better, much better running backs. So if Andre wanted to play at West Virginia, he should have grabbed. Now, hang on here. Okay. Now, I should say, eventually, Devine, I guess, did, commit. And he announced it on Twitter, and it was shared by some, official people at West Virginia. But he then, when he did not follow up with performance on the field, it's a good bet that West Virginia said, well, on the second thought, no. And that is standard. You offer some of these guys when they're young, and if things don't work out as everybody was hoping, you tell them it's not going to happen. A lot of the time when you see players announce that they have decommitted, it's because the school said, we're not going to give you a scholarship. And they let the, players save face and, just say decommit. And that's evidently, what happened. And he didn't decommit, I guess, kept, hoping for or trying to get a scholarship. But you have to earn it. It doesn't matter who your father is. Your father isn't going to be running the ball. Now, if you can't carry it yourself, Oh well. Now, ball game. Yeah. Of course, the overall question, and talked about this a little before, so I won't hit it big, just to mention, it's going to be, does the layoff make one of the teams come in flat? Does the fact that some guys aren't playing hurt or help? Do you generate extra energy? I'm hoping that both teams come in sharp and energetic. I want to see a good game. I want to see West Virginia win big, but I want to see them do it in a good game. Now, on offense, the central question is center. Yates has played there during the season, and he did well when he had to come in. He has not played a full game when the other team would be ready. Because they are going to really put the pressure on Yates and see what he's got. So that is going to be a very big deal. Other thing on the offensive line is going to be who else plays. I expect Malone will still be first substitute in for most of the positions, except center. That would be Livingston. But do any of the younger players come in? If so, which ones? Because that will tell us what the coaches are thinking for the future. And if we see several guys come in, and some who don't, if they're not injured, that may mean they hit the portal. I don't expect to lose a lot on the line, but I've still kind of been thinking one or two. And we have been making offers to offensive linemen in the portal. So we may get a hint of that in the game. And if guys do come in, what positions do they play? If Williams comes in, does he play left tackle or does he shift over to right tackle? That may tell us plans for the future. And if anybody plays right guard besides Hubbard, who is it? Of course, how well they play is also going to be a question. Wide receivers, well, actually tight end first. We'll probably see Davis and Taylor, yes. Will Dixon play? He's, next guy. I don't expect Wickstrom to play. He has simply never done much of anything. And the hope for Dixon has been high. We need to see that it's going to happen. They keep offering so many tight ends in the portal. You have to think something isn't going as hoped, or there's going to be an extra year, or just trying to find a second tight end who's a good receiving tight end as well. Wide receivers, Clement was finally, I think, fully healthy, or as close as you get near the end of the season in the Baylor game. Barring injuries in practice, we will see him healthy for the first time in a good while. Hoping to see more of the Clement we saw sort of mid-season. Ray and Gallagher have a lot of practice time under their belt since the previous game. Gallagher should have more of the routes worked out, so I'm hoping we'll see some downfield action. Still don't know if Preston Fox will play. If he does, he probably won't play any more than necessary, which opens up more chances for Gallagher. But we should see Horton as well. Horton, This game may be a deciding factor on whether he's going portal or not. That's, uncertain as far as I know. Unless we see significant work from Jarrell Williams, I think we can expect him to go into the portal. Running back, Donaldson's out. Jaheim White, the starter. Then we have Anderson and Oliver. I think right now Anderson is listed, second. Which one of them plays most will probably depend on who plays best. For Anderson, I think this is his audition for going into the portal. We've just got too many guys coming up to really give Anderson the chance that he deserves to play. But I don't think it's going to happen at West Virginia. I want to see Oliver go big. I want to see him have a breakout game, and then we'll see where things go in the spring. Defense. Again, the starting point is center. Mulba and Russell have to carry the load. Lockhart is gone. He won't be playing. So there's about 30 snaps, 35, to divide up between Mulba and Russell in addition to what they were getting. Plus whoever might come in, does Redwood slide over and play there some? We'll see. Cutter is coming in with lots of prep time. He was getting better, but could still be fooled, was not, getting into the pass drops the way he needed to. So how much more does he step up? He and Kobo were playing better together. Do we advance on that? Again, of course, Kobo will be gone next year, but competition between Cutter, Lathan, and Trotter is going to be big time, and we have Carico coming in, plus a couple of good freshmen. So, linebacker is going to be something to watch next year. Ruffin and Bishop will both be rested for the first time in a long time. That should help them a lot. But we have to see better play out of sort of the combination between linebackers and safeties. It's not just one or the other. The linebackers have to get back into the passing lanes to give the quarterback some problems with vision and opportunity. But the safeties have to then cover the rest of the territory. When the linebacker does not gum things up at the second level, it's hard for the safeties to do their job. So we have to see that combination work better. There's talk about whether or not Burks will be around next year or playing elsewhere. We might find out after the bowl game, we might not. But either way, he needs a good game. He was up and down during the season, especially after the injury, but also before the injury. He has to prove that he is going to be the guy we thought he was going to be this year. And I'm no longer completely convinced. Let's see here. With the defensive backs, do we see some of the younger guys play? Of course, Spells will play. He's been earning more time. How much he'll play makes a difference. How well he plays makes a difference. He has to come along for next year. But do we see any Jackson action? either corner or safety. One, the other, both. Does Tagaloa Nelson get in some at safety? We want to see some of these guys who've effectively had a season to get ready. They haven't played, but if the game isn't entirely on the line, do we get some of them in there, and how do they look? And I guess it'll be a question, is Dante Wright on the sidelines? Talk is possibly being offered the defensive coordinator job at Troy under Gerard Parker. It's talk right now. It could hit before the bowl game. Given the timing, I think he would, even if the offer was there, I think he would still coach. But if we don't see him on the sidelines, that might be the answer, if we haven't already gotten a public answer. I know the safety play hasn't been that good, and it's easy to blame the coach. I'm not convinced. I like Wright. Of course, that's partly because he's so dang good at press conferences. But I'd like to see what he can do when he's got a good set of players who've been there. He really hasn't had, the full package to work with. So, those are the questions. I think West Virginia scores a minimum of 35 points. Obviously, I think they win. How big they win is going to depend on the defense. And, we got big running backs to face. Tackling is going to be critical. So, does the team tackle well? Which they have done in many games. Do they tackle poorly? Which they have done in several games. And that's partly, again, do they come in sharp, hungry, and excited, or do they come in flat? Especially, with talk of a coaching change, how is that going to play into things? This game, I'm not going to say could, I think will affect the transfer recruiting for the next 2 or 3 months. Maybe clean through spring. And we do still need to bring some guys in from the portal. Exactly who will depend on which guys leave. And we do need some to leave. We are over our scholarship number already and still need to sign some guys. Well, it's 5 days to the bowl game, something like that. So we don't have to wait long, but we have to wait. I'll be watching. I'll be watching from home. I won't be traveling. We'll see what happens. I'll talk to you after the game. I do plan to do a live stream right after the game. So please join me for that. I know there will be a lot of live streams going on. I hope you'll drop in for mine for at least part of it. Bounce around. Hey, watch them all at the same time if you can. Maybe between all of us we'll say something that's worthwhile. Of course, be dropping in, drop in on Coos and drop in on Country Roads webcast, Mountaineer Paul. Those, I guess, don't know if other guys will be doing live, but you should have enough to keep you busy. I may talk to you before then. We'll see what comes up. In the meantime, so long.